Yo, what's going on, guys? It's me, Daily Tactics here, and we are doing another Clone Army update. So, I've got some new stuff. Let's get right on into it. Alright, lads, so first of all, new weapons. Bam! I got a lot of them because, as you guys know, I'm planning on doing some Commander Rico merch. Oh, that's for my teeth. Okay. Doing some Commander Rico merch, so I'm probably gonna use these weapons as his weapons. So we'll just take a few of these out. I'm trying to get a DC-15C out of here. There we go. Finally got one out. So these are the DC-15Cs. I don't know if these are Brick Arms or Clone Army Customs. You guys were saying that the ones I was getting off of eBay might be Brick Arms and not Clone Army Customs. I don't know what they are, but I really like them, so I'm kind of cool with it. It's cool to have some DC-15Cs in here now as well. Before we only had DC-15As, but now we've got a mix. So some of these will be used for the Clone Army, and some will be used for the Commander Rico figures. Here's just a whole bag of DC-15Cs as well. So I haven't decided if I'm going to give him a DC-15A or a C. He's used both in battle, so I don't know. What do you guys think I should give him? Regardless, that's that. We'll have enough weapons to equip all of our clone troopers now, and then some for Commander Rico. So that's pretty sweet. And then, boom. We got a whole lot of legs here. I don't know if these are the legs I'm gonna use for Commander Rico. I wanna see what the other like decal legs might look like on him. But regardless, we needed a ton of these white legs with black belt anyway, because a ton of our troopers don't have them. Like this guy right here. I have a lot of, you know, those half figures because these were all my childhood collection for the most part. So definitely gonna need some of these legs. And then on top of that, I just got some black helmets as well because I have a whole ton of snow troopers and scout troopers for the Empire and old school clone troopers that don't have the black heads, but I've got the helmets for them. So I thought might as well get some of these, and these will likely be the face of Commander Rico. Buying printed faces costs a lot more than black heads, and I'm trying to keep the price down of the figure because I, you know, tossed some prices your guys' way in a survey, and a lot of people would want it to be a lot on the, you know, less expensive side. So I think we're gonna go with black heads. He doesn't really need a face. We never really show his face in the series anyway. So that's all the new additions I have for the day. Some might come in the mail while I'm filming this episode, in which case we'll showcase them. But what I kind of wanted to do now was do a little bit of animating. So, you know, we've got some clone trooper figures here, and I need some practice on my Lego walking and Lego movements in stop motion for the stop motion that we are making, which will hopefully be out on May 4th. I've got about 3.5 minutes of footage right now, and it's taking me a long time, and I want it to be really good. So that might be delayed. I'm not entirely sure. But regardless of that, what I certainly do need is some practice animating these guys. So I think what I'm gonna do is set up my camera and we'll go through it together and figure out how we can sort of get the clone army mobilized and marching and whatnot, and that'll be pretty cool. So we'll get the clone army on the march here in just a moment. I'll be back, probably on a different camera because I'll use this camera to do the stop motion. So be right back. Alright guys, so I'm actually on my phone right now, showing you the little setup I've got. So essentially we've got a scene here where we're just gonna have this clone trooper walk across the screen. Here is my camera setup right here. So what I have done is I've taped down the base plate here. That way it's not, you know, shaking around while I'm moving the pieces and messing up the stability of the shot. On top of that, I have manual focus on. That way the focus doesn't readjust mid-shot and then keep on, you know, adjusting the focus with each shot, which would screw up the, you know, playback as well. It would keep on unfocusing and refocusing. You just don't want that in stop motion, so manual focus is the way to go. I've got the aperture set really, really high. Oh, hello, no, you come back. Thank you. Okay, so I've got the aperture set really, really high, which adds to the depth of field and also makes it really, really dark. So in order to counterbalance that, I've set the shutter speed to you know, not super, super low, but pretty low. That way the brightness goes up a little bit. And then on top of that, the sensitivity is also relatively low, which makes it a little bit brighter. Actually, the higher it is, the brighter it is. But I wanted less noise on the photo, so we have it set lower, so it's less noise, but not too low that it's too dark. So there's still a little bit of brightness there. And then, of course, we want to pour light onto the subject scene. So I have one little micro USB light here pointing this way, and then a larger one up there pointing that way, and that just sort of lights up the scene and takes away a lot of the shadows, and also makes it so I can have these settings on my camera that are a little bit darker, because now I'm pouring light onto the scene, so you know, the darker settings will work and look okay. On top of that, we've got the walk cycle that we want to use right here on the computer. So I decided to go with this walk cycle, where it's essentially repeating with contact, recoil, passing high point, contact, recoil, passing high point, contact. It's a very simple walk cycle. It looks really good from videos I've seen of it and from previous testing I've done, so I think this will be one that I want to go with often. There are some like higher quality walk cycles that require more FPS and you know, a lot more time, but I think this one's good to start out with because I am kind of a beginner here. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and record this, and then I will show you how it turns out. Alright guys, so I decided I'd actually show the editing process too. So I just did the walk cycle, now I want to test firing weapons. And I think that's actually all I'm going to test today, because those are the two key things I need practice with. I mean, dialogue scenes are super easy. It's mainly just like effects of weapons and then the walk cycle as well that are kind of the problems for me. Talking is really easy because you can use still photos, as well as just like occasionally have him like raise his hand, twiddle his fist, that kind of a thing, you know. You can have him nod back and forth. Those are easy animations to do, so I'm not going to test that one too much. Oh, by the way, I did get a shipment of these capes in, perhaps for the Commander Rico minifigure, and I have to say, I actually really like them. They look really good on the Snowtroopers. They're very long, so I might cut them a little bit, but I actually kind of like the length now that I'm seeing it. So, I don't know, what are your thoughts on these capes? I have like 80 of them right now, so, you know, I'll use them for something, maybe even just these Snowtroopers, who knows, but perhaps for Commander Rico. We'll have to test it out once we get the rest of the parts for his figure in. Alright lads, I just finished up recording the weapon firing test. We're going to go over to the computer now and edit them, and I will see you there. Alright boys, so here's what I've got for the walking one. It came out a little bit chunkier than I would have liked, as you can see right here. There he goes, walking on by. I think what I would probably do in the future is, I don't know, maybe not have him hold weapons if I can. Obviously, there will be some scenes where they just have to hold weapons, but holding the weapon does kind of make the arm cycle a little bit more awkward. Maybe I'd honestly try adding in another frame in there just to make it a little bit more fluid. I tried messing with the FPS, but this seems to be the best FPS to use. Either way, I'll add some you know, footstep noises and things like that to the scene, and then I'll just post it right after this clip. Okay, boys, so here we go. Here is the weapon test. I think this came out better than the walking test. Fire! Excellent! I think this is probably the animation I'm going to be using. I have a laser shot green screen, if anyone is curious, that I have tweaked just a little bit to fit my purposes a little bit more. As you can see in here. Open! There we go. I've tweaked the chroma key just to make the saturation of the laser a little bit better. And I've also gotten a blue hue in there by adding a border, and then honestly turning down the opacity. No, turning up the opacity is good. With a blue border and a lot of blur and a pretty decent size that sort of makes the laser blue, because normally it's a bit more of a a yellowy color with the green screen. You can do the same thing to get a red laser, essentially. So I'll play this clip as well, and yeah. Alright guys, I think that's going to be about it for today's video. We got a lot done, just sort of the stop motion wise, and we got a little bit done for the Clone Army itself. We got new weapons, which was great, and we also got some of those skirts for the Rico's Brigade figures. We might also put some of them on some of our troopers too for the Clone Army because they look good. I like them. I think they're cool. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Either way, next episode will be a lot more minifig heavy. I've got a ton of figures coming in, a lot from DK Collectibles. If you want to save 10% on Lego Star Wars stuff, go on over to dkcollectibles.com. Link will be in the description below, and use code DAILY, D-A-L-E-Y. You'll get 10% off that. So we'll be unboxing a lot of that stuff and a lot of figures and things like that. I've also got some other exciting surprise videos that are Lego based coming out too. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry it wasn't a huge addition to the collection, just little bits and bobs, and also testing some stuff, which was great for me, and I hope you guys enjoyed it too. So peace. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Be sure to click that subscribe button for more content, and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be alerted to whenever I live stream or upload. Thanks so much.